Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. I'm sorry for this video being late. I know that some of you wanted to know whether or not Ake was actually a solid card, so we're gonna upload him. Hopefully the video does well enough. But yeah, definitely a very interesting card because he is one of the players you could potentially get in the beginning of the World Cup star players. And to be fair, I've heard very good things about him, right? So what's very interesting about this card that people are going to kind of move past, and they should really pay attention to this kind of stuff when it comes to defenders in the game, is obviously the fact that he has a 5'11 height, a medium high work rate, but the key thing here is the fact that he is a left-footed player. Okay, so the fact that he is a left-footed player adds a whole new variable to work with for a card that plays for a really good club when it comes to links, as well as the Dutch links as well, right? So there's a lot of cool things you can work with for a card like Ake, especially if he doesn't get any sort of promo card in the future. Player traits in gaming has none. In-game attributes, to be fair, the card is really well formatted. I'm going to show you guys why, right? So acceleration is higher than the sprint speed, but you have to take into consideration that this card, right, on a shadow chemistry style is still going to be a controlled player. Now, this depends on what you want the most, right? Because it wouldn't be a horrible decision to give him the anchored chemistry style and work with the fact that he is a lengthy player. For me personally, I like the fact that he's controlled on a shadow because I can utilize that acceleration more than the sprint speed part of the card. I want that acceleration to feel as good as possible on the controlled, because you guys know explosive and controlled players are way quicker nowadays, right? The acceleration being high is very important. It's kind of like before the patch where when you were working with controlled and explosive players, especially explosive players, when they had a hunter chemistry style and they had higher acceleration and sprint speed, it was fantastic to work with, right? So the fact that this card has those capabilities is definitely a really huge plus on his card. Shooting, he actually has a few shooting stats if you do get into those positions. Technically, you can use him as a left back. Would I fully recommend it? No, I think most people will use him as a left back if they plan on using a 3-back formation, right? Because that versatile position change is amazing, because if you're working with 2 center backs and your team already in a 4-back, and you can change this card to your left back, you could use a 3-back formation easily, because if you have someone like a Juan Cuadrado playing at right back, boom, you can play him in the right mid position, no problem, while working with the 3 defenders playing through the center back position. So that's a really cool thing that you can work with. Passing on the cards in a decent area for a center back, no big deal there. The dribbling stats on the card is actually set up very nicely because of the height at 5'11 with the average body type as well. So all of that is definitely very, very nice for this card. Defensive stats, he's massively improved, obviously, with the shadow chemistry style. Would be improved with the anchor as well, just not in the slide tackle department. So, shadow chemistry style definitely looks really, really cool for him, especially at a medium high work rate. And then for physical capabilities, the card is in the mid 80s area when it comes to strength and aggression. So what I'm thinking when it comes to this Ake card is that he could potentially feel somewhat similar to someone like a David Alaba, where they're more agile than it is like, oh, I'm the physical type of guy, right? But obviously we're gonna be taking a look and seeing how he performs in game. Since we are doing the review for Luke Shaw as well, we're going to be using him in the 4-2-3-1 setup, playing in the left center back position with him being a left-footed player. So we'll see how he performs in that position. Hopefully he is a beast. Ake does really well right there. Luke Shaw, the only reason why he doesn't get that is because like kickoff's kind of weird sometimes, Oh, good sharp touches. Well done, Ake. Does well to put pressure under. Ake has really good transition speed. Like, it's really solid. Yeah, that sprint speed he has is sick. Feels very agile. Cards like this are super fun to use because like when you actually manually defend with them, they feel nice. Hit the ball first, or just try to go for a run at least for consistency to pass it back or forward. Yeah, very agile there. His positioning was really good there the entire time. Well done. Okay. Ake does a really good job defensively there. I just wait for the run to activate. Let's see what his penalties is. Nathan Ake, 58. Left side we go. Yeah, he's really fast. He's very solid for me so far. Been enjoying him a lot. Look at that. That's sick. Let's go, Ake. Look at Ake, dude. Oh my goodness. Nah, he's rapid, bro. Like, he's a rapid. Well, lay off. There you go. Beauty. Second man press gets to the ball. Lagaron switch downwards. Nice. Well done AI wise. Defensive AI was really good right there. Beautiful challenge again. Yeah, he's class. Like, I've been really enjoying him, honestly. Okay, guys, so final verdict on the Ake card. So guys, this is one of the cards you can get from swaps, obviously. He does not require a lot of your swaps. I think he requires, I think it was 8 the last time that I saw it. I believe it was 8. Let me see what it actually says over here. Let's go all the way to the bottom here. So I think it was around 8 swaps for him, right? So Nathan Ake, 8 swaps for a card that is Dutch, that plays for Manchester City. So a lot of very cool things to work with there. Guys, generally speaking, if you guys choose to unlock this card, you are getting a pretty good meta player, to be honest with you. I think that the links that he offers in your team is fantastic, but what he offers in game is even better. Cards like this, center backs like this in general, like him, David Alaba, right? They are the most fun center backs to use because when it comes to manually defending with them, they do a really good job because of how agile they feel moving across the pitch. Everything bounces off this card really nicely because of the fact that his acceleration is higher than the sprint speed. So when you give him the shadow chemistry style under a controlled accelerate, it works perfectly for this card because high acceleration is great, but he works with the 5'11" height at an average body type, which just makes him move across the pitch in very agile ways. I didn't feel like he overcommitted in certain positions. You know, cards like this, in my opinion, I call them the gameplay compensators, right? Because of the fact that, you know, if your gameplay feels a little bit heavier, this card is a card that will compensate as much as possible for the meta of the gameplay. Defensive animations came off great. Defensive, you know, stuff that he did in general was great. His positioning was perfectly fine with the medium-high work rates that he was working with. You know, the physical stuff worked out fine as well, especially since he's so agile to kind of push up against the attackers to be able to get the ball. So, in my opinion, I've reviewed cards like Danilo Pereira, Fabinho, and stuff. And those cards, I think they might be more swaps, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I think Danilo Pereira might be 8 as well. I would EA, please put Danilo Pereira as a center back, okay? He plays so many center back games in the last like 20 or so matches. Please just change his position change. I think you guys did it to Brozovic. Can you please do it to Danilo Pereira? Please? I'm begging you, okay? Please. It'd be great if you did. But anyways, Ake's card, guys, uncontrolled with the acceleration set up the way that it is. This is 100% a fantastic card. As of right now, if we were to do comparisons, the comparisons wouldn't even make that much sense to do, because I'm going to show you guys something, right? So how do you search the... I'm sure the strong foot is somewhere here, and I just don't know which one it is. Minimum weak foot. How do you search if he's like a left-footed player? Weak foot. It's probably here somewhere, and I just don't know, honestly. Traits. I've never like searched that myself. Oh, left foot. There you go. Okay. So left foot, we go to the center back position, right? The only other card you can work with is Aymeric Laporte, and he's not even available on the market right now. He's extinct. But Laporte is also Spanish, not Dutch. So there's so many cool things you can work with when it comes to the Dutch players, just like there's a lot of cool things you can work with the Spanish players. So if you guys have any plan on using a card like Ake for those Manchester City links or those Dutch links, and you want a free card that exists, he is 100% worth getting. He's a very, very solid center back in the game, and I genuinely think he's going to last a very good amount of time in this game as well for the longevity of the game being out. So yeah, definitely worth getting 100%. I mean, dude, I'm looking at it from a Premier League perspective, but if I were to go for the center backs in general, you can see that the only other option you can work with is a player like like David Alaba. You know, there's Aymeric Laporte. Again, he's extinct on the market. You would have to go and purchase him. But for a card that you're putting swaps into, you guys would not regret getting him. I'm telling you, he's genuinely really, really good. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video today. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.